I am a little confused with this product because I don't know when it launches. I pre-ordered one of these off of Amazon and there's no delivery date. The listing was removed. It's gone back up. It was removed again. I don't know what's going on, but this company did send this to me for purpose of review. So that may be a good sign that it is coming out pretty soon. Know what's going on, but this is not to be confused with the Atari 2600 Plus. This is the Atari My Arcade GameStation Pro. The branding is kind of weird with this box. I don't think the packaging necessarily looks bad, but it is kind of like, what is this, right? 200 plus games. So this is a plug-and-play console where the 2600 Plus is more, it's a software-based clone console that uses cartridges, right? So this built-in games plug-and-play 2600 Plus is a software emulation clone console that uses cartridges, no built-in games. So I want to check this out with you guys. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? I'm really curious with these sticks, these joysticks, wireless joysticks that have paddle controls built into them. That could be kind of cool. You got Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, and arcade games built in, officially licensed. There's a lot of stuff going on with Atari this year. It's kind of crazy, right? But yeah, kind of nice packaging, I think. Got the hand holding the, yeah, there we go. That looks nice, holding the controller. And then you got this guy back here. Looks like he needs to get a new bottle of Soul Glow for his Jerry curl there, but they're enjoying it. Oh yeah, they're playing the paddle game, or yeah, they're turning the paddle. Okay, this doesn't look like it's necessarily like a stock image with where they just photoshopped it. They're really enjoying this thing. Holy crap! 200 plus video games built in, HDMI, 2.4 gigahertz joysticks with paddles, game save options, dynamic RGB lights. Yes, I think this thing's like $100. All right, I think $100 for a 200 plus game plug and play sounds kind of fair, but it's really going to be up to you, man. Atari games, like I grew up with the 2600, but I don't revisit it too much because, I mean, I'm just being honest. I know there's some people who get really upset, and that's fine. You could stress out and be pissed from, a stranger online having a differing opinion or experience than you. That just seems, that's the way the world is nowadays. But Atari 2600, it's great. Like that, there's a big piece of history with Atari, like as far as gaming goes. But it's really hard for me to go back to those games. Really difficult, man. When the NES came out, like the game had changed, man. It had changed big time. Wow, this looks nice though. But with the inclusion of the 7800, 5200 and arcade games, this might be kind of cool. And, still for nostalgia, hey, I mean, might be all right. You know what I'm saying? But that looks cool. That looks really neat. Let's get this thing out of the box. What comes in this little thing? Probably just a manual and something else. Maybe some treats or something. I don't freaking know. Oh, I got a certificate. Really, My Arcade. My Arcade, I've done videos on a lot of their products. Some of them I don't like. Some of them are okay. My Arcade is kind of known more for like impulse buy items. This does look more quality, just visually, than a lot of their other stuff. But they have, they do have multiple tiers of products they make, but they do a lot of that impulse buy stuff, little handhelds and whatnot. This certifies that the DG UNL 7012 GameStation Pro is authentic. Okay, if I didn't have this certificate, I would think this was not real. Holy crap, I may have to frame this, dude. There we go. And then you get a little poster looking action. Is this a poster or just an insert advert? Yeah, see? They're a little impulse buy, the little handhelds and stuff like that. Some of them are kind of cool. But I don't know. I kind of want to try the Pocket Player Pro with Street Fighter. But there we go. They got some neat stuff, and then some stuff coming soon. Stay tuned. And then right here, you got a whole manual explaining the functionality of everything, whatever. Let's take this off. Get an HDMI cable. Where's our power supply? Okay. B button, A button, dial. This takes batteries. Does feel a little light. Home, select start. Power on and off, a little slider. USB-C, that's a good thing. I think maybe, okay, menu button, but then it shows like light. There's like a light. Maybe it, I don't know. Weird. Can use this wired with USB-C cable, but it doesn't come with one from what I understand. Doesn't feel bad. See how it performs in the game. But you get 2 of those. And then for the star of the show, wow, they weighted this. For sure, they put some weight in this right here. This has some heft to it. They weighted it, 100%. There's weights in here. There's a metal plate in there. Power, home button. Got a little sticker over that. Okay, back to it. So on the front, we got 2 USB-Cs to, wire up the controllers if you have the cables. Didn't come with them. On the back, there's a reset pin, USB-C for power, HDMI. Then I did see, on this side, there's a micro SD card slot, so that's kind of cool. Sure, it's meant for firmware updates, stuff like that, but I'm sure we'll figure out how to load up games on it, most likely, but there we go. Pretty cool. So I'm going to get this thing plugged in and get going. I do need a screwdriver to open this up, put batteries in there. I hate that, but let's do it. Okay, so system is powered on, but I'm re-recording this entire segment of the video because I discovered something toward the end that kind of changes some of my thoughts, and it needs to be talked about earlier than the end of the video. So you remember the box, 200 plus games, Atari branding everywhere. You assume, okay, 200 plus Atari games. So this is where the problem lies, because it is very misleading, but some people may be fine with this. I just figure it needs to be talked about now. So featured games and then bonus games. I thought, oh, okay, this system's for Atari fans. It's going to be a buttload of Atari games here. Cool, right? So featured games. We already know all the systems that are on here. The bulk of them are going to be, the games are going to be in 2600, a little bit in 52, a little bit in 78. And then you got, I believe it was 38 arcade games. Now, the total here, as far as Atari games go, is 138 games. There's not 200 Atari games on this system. 138. Is that close to 200? Is that close enough? No, not in my opinion, but hey, whatever. So bonus games. When I clicked this, I was a little confused because I didn't count how many games were included with everything, but toward the end, I counted everything. This bonus game section, you may start recognizing some of this. These are all Pico Interactive games that have been licensed on every device out there. They're all over the place. Some games are better than others. I'm not saying they're all bad games, but a lot of these I don't care for. Some of them are all right, but these are not Atari games. These are NES games, Sega Genesis games. Some of the games are very difficult to play with this thing, but there is 63 Pico Interactive games here. Jim Power, Noah's Ark, freaking weird, man. Like, what is this about? This is very misleading. I think some people may be disappointed, Radical Rex. Some people may be pleased, but it's worth pointing out that a third of the games are Pico Interactive games, the Immortal, the Humans, Game Boy games, NES games, Sega Genesis games. There are a few arcade games as well, but what the heck? Like, I think this is really a system for Atari fans. But okay, let's just get into this real quick now that I got that out of the way. Settings, some basic stuff, aspect ratio, bezel art, scan lines, and that's it. Not much to it. Did have a firmware number, so I'm assuming, hey, there may be firmware updates in the future. So this is a little wonky navigating through this, very bare bones, but let's jump into something real quick. So let's find a paddle game. So you can go to paddle games and it just, shows them, but not all the games that I thought would be able to be played with a paddle are played with a paddle here. But okay, Super Breakout. I select my game, brings up like an about section talking about it, showing you what the controls are. You do have music in the menu here. I may have turned it off, I don't know. But you hit the C button, so it's like A, B, and then C. So yeah, you could play Sega Genesis games on this 3-button games. So here's a little action with the dial, the little paddle. It gets the job done. It doesn't feel too bad. It responds decently well. Not the best, but hey, I mean, it actually works decently well. So that's a plus, having that built in there. You don't need an extra controller. Press the home button to go back. You could press, I believe, this menu button on the back to just save state. But hey, some games don't have save states, apparently. So in these arcade games, you press select to insert coins and then start with the little red buttons on the bottom. But a game like this, Tempest, the arcade version, you have to use the stick to move around. I thought, oh, maybe you could use the dial, but no, it would have been kind of nice to use that, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. There is no option. If you hit the option button, game control options are not supported. And 7800, you have a handful of kind of cool games here. You know, Alien Brigade, Basket Brawl, Dark Chambers, Scrapyard Dog, Food Fight. But that's pretty much it. Let me check out Food Fight. So, you know, the controller here, it responds fairly well. I haven't really had too much of an issue with the actual joystick. It feels good. It doesn't feel like it's going to snap or anything. So that's a good thing. I think it's a decent quality, you know, controller here. But I used to love this game back in the day. I'm sucking at it now, but that's all right. 5,200 games, this is it. I don't know what the hell Amoeba Zork is, but let's check it out. So this almost looks like a poor man's 3D World Runner. But not as good. I mean, not like that game is all that great either, but there you go. Controls respond well. I'm not feeling any weird latency or anything. I'm just sucking at these games. So 2,600 games. We have quite a few here. This takes up a good bulk of the games. There we go. This, I mean, everything here feels good. It feels fine. It's not difficult to emulate any of these games on the system, but sometimes you do come across these consoles that come out where things are just emulated extremely poorly, but I think they did a decent job here. It doesn't feel bad. So the bonus games, let's see how a game like Jim Power plays with this thing. Okay, so A button shoots, the B button on the top jumps. The C button, it's like your little special power. Okay, let's see how well I could do here. It is a little awkward unless you're used to playing platformers with a control like this. Oh shit, very weird. Okay, I mean we're playing non-Atari games on this Atari plug and play. It would be like it would be like freaking the NES Classic having like Game Gear games on it or something, you know what I mean? I keep accidentally hitting that C button. Like, you gotta hold this like to where you're not accidentally hitting that, because it's very easy to press. But there you go. Okay, but okay, Noah's Ark 3D. This might actually play decently well with this this controller. Let's capture some animals. Got that goat. Okay, so yeah, just keep in mind, if you buy this thing, a third of the games are not Atari games. They're just Pico Interactive. Let's punch a goat. Pico Interactive games that you might like, you might not like. Some people may actually look at that as a selling point. Some may not. It's up to you to decide. I just think it's weird, and the way the system is packaged, the way it's shown, like there's no mention of this stuff on here. You would just assume, I assumed it was 200 plus Atari games, but that was a lie. That was a lie. Let me know what you guys think. I do appreciate y'all watching. Yeah, what do you think? Are you buying one? Bye.